Hi guys, slightly different setting for the video today, but hopefully lighting's alright and it comes out just fine. I've just finished the book called The Hurting by Lucy Van Smit. This was good. This was a book I was sent by Lucy herself. I think it's recently out. Not my typical kind of book, I must say, in terms of genre, but also in terms of perhaps target audience. It's a book I believe is targeted at the sort of 14 plus young adult catchment, and it is noticeably heavier in content than a lot I've read recently. It's quite a complex story. It's a story that focuses on a young English girl, a 15-year-old English girl who's moved with her family out to Norway. Her family being her dad and her sister. Now, her sister, her older sister, is actually struggling with leukemia, and as far as she knows, they've gone out to Norway to essentially give her the best form of treatment they can. They're there for a little while. She is very much the carer for her sister. Her dad goes away to work, and her dad is also a heavy drinker. So she's got that responsibility of looking after her sister, and her life very much centres around being the carer for her sister, but also she's almost living to a point where she feels too guilty to have fun because her sister can't. Her life changes when a boy called Lucas turns up in her life, and at first she's swept off her feet. It's very much a sort of a heavy crush, a romance, and it's got that feel of a sort of Twilight as a book, that sort of story. Not that I'm an expert on that, but it has got that sort of love story feel about it. Now Lucas at first seems like, the perfect guy, and she seems absolutely delighted with it, but there's always something a little bit strange about him. As the story develops, things take a little bit of a turn. It emerges that Lucas is he's actually got a bit of a twisted background. So he was adopted and found in the wild by a very rich oil tycoon. This man took him in under his wing, raised him and his wife. But these guys died. The oil tycoon and his wife died. Now, I don't want to give too much away on the story, but Lucas has been raised by wolves. Lucas is very instinctive. Lucas wants to... he feels at home with the wolves. And as the story evolves, the protagonist... Let me just get it right. The protagonist, Nell, her life takes a very strange twist. Lucas encourages her to take a baby from the shopping centre. Now that sounds very strange at first, but there's a little bit of a background story to who that baby is and why Nell has been encouraged to take that baby. They both end up in the wild. They end up in the mountains of Norway, Lucas and Nell. And Nell is trying to survive. She's very much torn between doing what is right, but also doing what her heart is telling her. She's desperate to see the good in Lucas, desperate to sort of feel that whilst he's acting in a strange way and often a wrong way, she's desperate to think that there's a reason behind this, and as I say, see the good in him. The story does really transpire, and we find Nell and the young baby who it later emerges has a link to her, the young baby in the wild, and they are fighting for survival. Lucas, who they think is very much on their side, turns into quite a sinister character. And as things unravel, it does very much seem that Nell has been framed by Lucas for this abduction of the baby, and a lot that has gone wrong in between. As I say, it is a complex story. It is a beautifully written story, and there's some wonderful descriptive vocab. As you can imagine, I've not been to Norway myself, but having seen clips, videos and photos of the country, I get a taste for it, and reading this book really did bring the country to life. It's very interesting and quite a tense, dark read at times. I think, as I say, I can certainly see why this book would have a target audience of older children. There are some colourful word choices in the book. There are some sort of sexual references at times, and it is a heavy read, but a very interesting read all the same. It wouldn't be my typical genre, and I'm not sure I'd rush back to this type of genre just because it left me feeling quite confused and intense, actually. But I really did enjoy it. So I'd just like to say, The Hurting by Lucy Van Smit. Really good book. Get your hands on it if you can. And one thing I really liked about it was the little 3-word summary that they put on the back. Something I've done myself on my site. We had escape, obsession and survival on this one. Little shout out for the cover as well. What a beautiful cover that is. Really, really smart. Lots of nice features. And also, sorry, look away. All of the chapters had this little beautiful design on, which I thought was a really nice touch. So yeah, going to do a giveaway on my Twitter for this copy itself, but really enjoyed it. The Hurting, Lucy Van Smit. Thank you for watching. Cheers, guys.